Hi, my name is Melissa van Dijk, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use the Bourjois Smoky Taupissime eyeshadow quad. Now, before we're moving on to the eyeshadows, I just want to mention that because I'm doing videos on an everyday base, I just wanted to let you know that the products that I'm presenting to you or talking about or showing you how you can make it work, you don't have to buy them all. Just keep it simple, just use the products that you personally really love. All what I wanted to share with you is how you can make it work and also how you can get the best out of the product. And this is also what I'm going to show you in today's video as I prepared for eye makeup looks for you. And I'm going to start off very simple, but only using one shadow, then for the next one 2, the next one 3, and the last one using the 4 shadows that are in the palette. Now I'm also going to mix using the double applicator as well as also my finger, so that we even can keep it more simple and we're not going to keep it complicated. And I also wanted to give you a little bit more inspiration when it comes to the lipsticks, as I know that if someone wears lipsticks, then it's not only one shade. And so for that I'm also going to use the Kryolan lip palette, as this one is a little bit more convenient for me to show you very natural tones of lipstick, how you can combine it also with an eye makeup look, as we're going to keep it very natural and simple. So let's get started with the first eye makeup look, which for this one I'm only going to use one shadow, and I'm going to stick with my finger, and I'm also going to dig into the medium brown shadow, which is this one right here. I'm going to apply it with my finger from the lash line until I'm reaching the crease, and then start blending it with my finger. And so as we're going to stick with one shadow, I'm now going to move on to the lip. And for that, I always would recommend you to keep it as simple as possible, having a lip pencil if you have troubles with bleeding, as this will help you to prevent bleeding if you're applying a lipstick on top. And I'm also using a lip shade that's very close to my natural lip color, so that it is a little bit more invisible rather than really noticeable. And so I'm going to start off with lining my lips and then moving on to the lipstick. So now we have a protecting border around the lips. And so for the first lip shade, I'm going to use this one right here on the bottom, which is also very close to the lip liner that I'm using, which makes it look even more natural. And as we are going to stick with only one shadow, I just thought keeping it simple with the lip as well. Using it on my fingers and then just tapping it on the lip. And so, of course, if you have lipstick in a bullet, then you just can directly apply it from the bullet. And there you have already the first eye makeup look, as well as combining it with the lipstick, which is very simple and natural. And what I do love about the Bourjois eyeshadow quads is that they are so simple but still very stunning, as you can create very simple looks with it, or use all of the shadows to create a beautiful, more defined eye makeup look. Now let's get started with the second one. Now for this eye makeup look, I'm going to stick with 2 eyeshadows, and one of them is the darker one right here on the top, which I'm going to apply with my finger and then blend it with the applicator, with the sponge applicator that comes with it, so that we have a little bit more of a less harsh line right here, because the darker the color gets, the trickier it can be when it's about blending. And so having a clean applicator, at least on one side, will always help you to blend the shadow. And now for the next step, I'm also going to dig into a lighter shadow to use it as a highlighter for the brow bone as well as the inner corner. And I'm also going to use the sponge applicator for it, as it just will make it easier to blend also into the shadow right here. And so I'm going to stick with this one right here, using the side that I have already used the dark brown shadow, as I want to keep the other side clean. And so once the highlighting shade is on, I'm now going to go back with the lip liner and then digging into a different shade of lipstick. And so for this look and also get the perfect lipstick, I'm going to dig into this darker brownish orangey shadow lipstick right here. And I'm also going to use my finger to apply it and tap it onto the lip. Of course, if you have a normal lipstick, then just go with it. And here you have already the second eye makeup look, and all what you need to finish the look is a bit of mascara. So let's move on to the next eye makeup look. Now for the third eye makeup look, I'm going to stick with 3 shades from the palette. And I'm going to start off with the same shade that I've done my first eye makeup look, which was the medium brown shade right here. And I'm going to apply it again with my finger and blend it a bit through the crease. And so now for the next step, I'm also going to dig into the dark brown shadow right here, using the applicator that comes with it, so that I can bring it on the lower lash line from the outer corner towards the inner. And so now for the third eyeshadow, I'm going to pick the glitter. And for that, I'm also going to use my finger as well as pressing it on the lid. What's really important is that this one doesn't have that fineness to it. So it's a little bit more like thicker chunks of glitter rather than having a shimmery shade, which makes it so important that you're at first going to press it and then blend it just a tiny bit. And I'm going to focus it on the center of the main lid area and then blending it a little bit towards the outer and inner corner, but not too much. And so once the glitter is on and you pressed it on and you're happy on how you also distribute it towards the corners, we now can also move on to the lip liner again. As I say, this is only if you really have the troubles when it comes to the bleeding part. And so this time I'm going to keep it a bit darker and a little bit more pink purplish. And I'm going to use this shade right here on my finger, of course, and I'm going to press it on the lip. And here you have the third eye makeup look using 3 of the shadows from the palette. So let's get to the final eye makeup look. Now for the last eye makeup look, I'm going to use all 4 shadows of the Quad Eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to start off with the lightest one, as this is more like a prime eyeshadow that you can apply all over your lids. Now I could have used this shadow already in the looks before, but I just wanted to show you the various options that you have and also what looks you can create with. And so I'm going to start using this one from the lash line to really dragging it towards the brow bone, so that everything will be nice and primed as well as shimmery, as it has a very soft sheen to it. I'm also using my finger and just start applying it and blending it. And so now that everything is nicely primed and you have a little sheen all over the eyelid area, we now can move on to the next step, which is applying the medium brown shade on the main lid area until the crease. And for that you either can stick with the applicator or you can use your finger. I personally like to use the finger, as it isn't such a deep shade that I need to use an applicator for it to blend it, as it also will work with the finger very well. And because you now used the prime shadow underneath, it's even easier to blend the shadow. And so now that this shadow is on, we now can move on to the next shadow, which is the darker shadow. So this dark brown shadow now right here, I'm going to use with my finger and also the applicator, and I'm going to focus it towards the outer corner. Now this one isn't as dark, so it won't show off as such a dark brown shadow, which I personally also do love a lot, because it makes blending easier and it also will give you a little bit more of an everyday wear look. But it also will define your eye. And so now that you have applied the darker shadow towards the outer corners, we now can move on to the last shadow, which is the glitter. And I'm also going to use the glitter towards the inner corner, as well as using the applicator, as it's a bit firmer than my finger and also the area is a little bit smaller, so that I really can focus it towards the inner corner. And so now again, for the lipstick, using a bit of lip liner as well as the last lip shade that I picked for this eye look. And this time I went with a little bit more of a rosier shade, which is this one right here. So before I used a little bit darker one, and now I'm using this one. And this palette is basically also a sheer lip palette, which makes it also so suitable if you're using softer colors as your eye makeup look. And this is also the last eye makeup look with the 4 shadows, and this is also the look that you can create with the little Bourjois eyeshadow palette. And I just do love how those shadows perform and also how beautifully they apply, which makes it so suitable for everyday use. And I do hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up as well as share it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye!